Joe, what's going on, man?
Good morning. How are you?
I am running on fumes, living on a prayer, whatever cliche you want to tag to it, man. Living the life is what I'm doing, man. It's good.
That's good. That's good. Happy Proper Cup of Joe Day. This is Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Time. It's Proper Cup of Joe time. That's a show where we get together every Thursday morning. This guy has snakes. I don't, and I've got a lot of questions. That's what it's all about, everybody. So thanks for joining us this morning on the live chat. That's one of my favorite parts of the show is hearing from everybody else. And I mean, I talk to this guy every once in a while, but it's good to just hear from you, and that'll be fun this morning. How was your week, Adam?
It was good. We're coming to you today, commercial free, from our good friends at Palm Street, Cold-Blooded Cafe, and Husbandry.pro. We'll tell you about Heart of the Python a little bit later, but go check out those companies. $200 order at Cold-Blooded Cafe. You get a free shipping if you use the promo code Proper11. And you got to manage your collection. You got to manage your projects. You got to get alerts. You got to know when you're feeding, when you're pairing, generational tracking, all of it in Husbandry.pro. Check it out. Get the free 60-day trial, P Royals 60. The week was good, Joe. It culminated last night with a concert. I'm just getting into my one thing, man. I'm all amped, man. I'm on very little sleep because I went to a concert last night. Iconic venue that I've never been to before, but I've always heard about for a long, long time. The venue is called First Avenue. It's up in Minneapolis, and
all right,
that is where Purple Rain was filmed. That's the venue, man. Now that is it. So it's this really cool venue. I guess it's been around since at least the 60s. They put stars on all over the walls, inside and outside, with artist names and performance dates. And the earliest one I could find was Joe Cocker in 1970. But so it's like it's not like a Hollywood Walk of Fame, but if you imagine the Hollywood stars, but they're up on the walls and outside of the building too. So as you're walking up, you could see all the different stars and everything. It's a really cool, cool venue. I saw a band, a rockabilly band called Reverend Horton Heat. Man, it was cool. It was good.
I've heard of them, right? Where would I have heard of them?
They've been at it.
My brain and tell me where I heard of them.
They've been at it like 40 years. They're on the soundtrack to that current show with Billy Bob Thornton, Landman.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're just they're definitely like a group of musicians. Just the guy's just a ripping guitar player. I actually think they brand themselves as Psychobilly instead of Rockabilly. But yeah, it's like kind of, put it this way, they their encore was a cover of Motorhead's Ace of Spades last night as a rockabilly trio. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. It was really good.
Where is were you a loner last night?
No, I've got a buddy that here in town that actually my wife works with, but he and we just every now and again we pop up and say, hey, I got tickets to, we really both like club shows. Like big arenas and stadiums aren't really my thing, but a good band and a good club, especially like the more questionable and divey the club, the better, especially if it's a really good band, So he likes that. So we usually go get a pretty good dinner ahead of time, and then we'll go see the show, and then we just split one person gets the tickets, one person gets dinner, one person drives, the other person gets the drinks, however it works,
So who drove last?
Not me.
Not you. Oh,
not me. But I did take it easy. I've managed to from an actual like business and lifestyle standpoint, I managed to really screw up my schedule today. I overbooked things. I got to get through the show this morning. I've got to get to this other thing.
Yeah, you have to leave a little bit early today, don't you, Adam?
Couple minutes early because I didn't plan accordingly. And then I decided that this would be the day that I install the air conditioner in the new facility on the roof by myself. So I got a little bit of a big to do today. I've got to get an air handler up on the roof.
By yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I just got to do. I made a few calls. Some things didn't work out. I said, you know what? I just got to get this done. It's after a while,
Okay.
you go. I'm just going to do it.
And what does that entail then? This is my first question of the day, and I have lots of questions. And if you don't know, if this is the first time, Adam owns a car wash that he built his snake breeding facility within one of the bays of the car wash.
That's right.
So what do you? How do you install an AC in your snake facility?
All right. In my defense, this is my third one that I've done. So there's a company called Mr. Cool. They make mini splits. I'm not affiliated, but I do recommend them. They're fantastic. I did my garage in Florida, and I did the here at the house. I put a mini split in the old snake room here. The difference of those was the thing outside, I think, is the compressor, I think, of an air conditioner. Let's just call it the thing outside. So the thing outside.
You've done this twice before?
Yeah, twice I've done this before. You got your thing outside. And
the thing outside. Okay.
That just sits on a platform, or like here in Minnesota, there's a wall like bracket that it hangs off of. And that's
okay.
It's fairly heavy. It's probably 50, 60 pounds. So it's not crazy heavy, but it's heavier than I want to wrestle going up 14, 16 foot extension ladder.
Yeah. I got you.
So in my dreams last night, I actually dreamt of different ways I could get this thing up. I'm not claiming that I planned this. I wasn't like, all right, let me go to bed and figure this out. It just came up. But wouldn't that be great if I could like productively work while I sleep? That would be fantastic, man. Then no, it'd be so much more efficient, man.
Dreams are for your dreams.
I hate how much I have to sleep, man. I wish I didn't have to sleep at all. So, but I deduced a plan in my head where I'm going to attach the outside thing, I think it's a compressor, to a long ratchet strap, and I'm going to put the other end of the ratchet strap at the top of the ladder. I'm going to climb up the ladder to the roof, and once I'm on the roof, I will ratchet it up, and then I don't have to worry about like slipping while I'm heaving it up with brute force. So, and I'll anchor the ladder, so it'll be tied. The ratchets will be tied to the ladder. The ladder will be anchored to the building. Let's give it a go. I think I can do it.
So, and this the outside thing that we're calling it,
correct?
I think compressor, maybe, I don't know. That is that. So, what's like the dimensions of that? I know you said 50 to 60 pounds, but what's the dimensions? Like,
it's fairly bulky. It's probably, I don't know, 2.5, probably 30 inches tall and 36 or 48 inches long. It's probably 3x4.
Okay.
2.5, and then 3.5, something like that.
Is there a place already on the roof for this?
No, I'll have to anchor it to the roof. I had to drill a hole, from the ceiling through the roof, because the cold, the Freon tubes, the cold air got to connect to the thing inside that actually blows the air. And then I've got to wire it all up. So the circuits all run, and then I'll bolt the feet of it down to the end of the roof. So that's,
and then you have to seal that hole that you create, correct?
Correct. You're gonna have a little thing called a flange, which is like a little necktie for the hole. The pipe's gonna come up. You got a flange. You're gonna put that really goopy stuff that you always see on roofs. Yeah. That's gonna go up there.
Okay.
And then I'll run a tube. There's a PVC drain pipe, but instead of it just running straight up and down where the water would get into it, it's going to make a right angle at the top. So then I don't have to worry so much about the hole being waterproof, because the water really, some wind and rain could drive it in sideways, but the sealant will not have to be so, it doesn't have to hold water,
I understand.
Yes.
Very, very interesting stuff. you got to a point where you got to a point where you were like, this isn't gonna, I can't have any other people do this, or you could just like couldn't schedule somebody to come and do it.
It was a scheduling problem, and as well as a weather. I mean, it's about to get hot enough that I need this air conditioner. Like it's time is ticking. Yeah. And so I just started it yesterday. I got the inside unit is hung. The inside's done. It's all good. So that's ready to go. I just got to get this thing on the roof. So the rental company's dropping off an extension ladder for me this morning, and yeah, I'll go.
The rent you're gonna rent an extension ladder?
That's correct. Yeah, I don't own a. It was funny. The lady on the phone didn't quite know what to make of me because I was like, I need an extension ladder, and she's like, well, what size do you need? I was like, it's a probably a 12-foot building. She's like, well, I have a 28-footer. I was like, that'll do. That'll work. But that's the extension. So it's 14 feet. I was like, oh, I didn't have to worry about extending it. I don't even have to worry about how you lift this thing or let it down or whatever. I'm just going to lean it up against the building, and then I'll go get it. I'll climb up it and anchor it once I'm up there.
Are you comfortable with heights?
No, I hate heights. I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah. I used to be better with it. Like I used to get up on roofs and stuff like that. Now I don't like to do it. Now, remember I built a shed last summer?
Yeah. How is the Shetty Van Halen?
Shetty Van Halen is still not done because I haven't put a roof on it.
Because you what?
I haven't put a roof on it.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only thing. It has the actual roof on it. I just have to put shingles on it. And I just haven't finished.
Evidently, you don't have to.
No, I guess not. It's all good. But I need to do that. It's one of the things I need to do. Okay. Yeah. Get off my back about it, Adam.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite jokes is if a man says he'll do something, you don't need to stay on his butt and ask him every 6 months if it's been done or not.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It has been about 6 months.
Right.
But to be honest, to be fair, a lot has happened in the last 6 months. Okay. So again, Adam, get off my back, please.
All right. Well, what's your one thing? What do you got going on, man? What's your one thing this week?
Oh man. So I went out fishing. This
one of my favorite things. Offshore. You took the kid. You guys chartered a boat. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't like deep sea or anything. We didn't go far out. We went out into the mangroves. We just like chartered
you did a backcountry one.
Yeah. It was
guided. That's fun.
It was fun, and it's been fun. We've done it in the past. In the past, there's usually a pretty good haul. It's we bring in some fish, and this time Aiden went with me. So I was really excited that he was super excited because I kept on saying, yeah, it's really great. Go out, catch a whole lot of fish. And for 4 hours, we didn't catch any fish.
Oh, that's such fun fishing too. You're doing you're after snook and redfish and sea trout back there. That's the best stuff, man.
I mean, at one point the captain turned to me and was like, I've been doing this 15 years. I've never had this problem before.
Oh no.
Never. So we're right at the very end, and I'm like, I'm not a praying man usually. But I was like, whatever exists, please just help Aiden.
Let's get a fish for the kid. Yeah.
And I was like thinking of all like the people from my past who have fished, all of the fishing gods in my. So I was
it's a great reunion, spiritual reunion of the historical fishers of Joe's family lineage.
Yes, I was like, Dad, Grandpa, Richard, anybody who has passed on who likes fishing, just help me out this one time, please. And it was right about that moment that Aiden hooked a big red fish.
Heck yeah, he got it. So he got on a good red.
Yeah. And it was nice. It was huge. and then we took it to a place called Hog Island, where they, if you bring in like a filleted fish, they'll cook it up for you.
So as a keeper, those
yeah.
Let me see if I remember the details right. In Florida, the fishery of the redfish have been really challenged. So the little ones you have to let grow up, and the great big ones you have to let breed. So they have a slot size, but the slot size is pretty big. It's 17 to 27 inches, isn't it?
Yeah. This one was like 24.
24-inch red that's a solid fish.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. Excellent. Actually, we went to my buddy had a bunch of people with him on this trip, not on the fishing trip, but like
the dinner
Florida
portion.
Yeah. And we went and we had like 10 people, and we all it didn't feed all 10 people.
Right.
But it was like we had like an appetizer, and
it wasn't that holy of an experience, right?
Right. No, it didn't multiply.
There was no sermon on the.
No. But we did. But Aiden was like really proud of himself and stuff. So, and he was like, "That was a great fishing trip." And up until that point, which was like 3 hours and 50 minutes, the trip was 4 hours. It was the last 10 minutes. It was our last spot, and the guy was just about, he was like, well, maybe just a few more minutes and then we'll head back. And it was at that moment that he pulled in this fish, and he was like, that was the best. It was so fun. Like he was like he wants to go again and again.
Right.
Even though we just basically sat in the sun for 4 hours.
For that one moment in time, that was the most expensive. It was the most expensive redfish per pound ever had by men of.
I believe it. Yes. But the guy, the guy is the captain's really great. Captain Angelo, he's fantastic. He's just a fun guy to go out with, and his mate Justin was great. It was awesome. So we had a blast, even though not a lot of fish.
Gotcha. Hey, look. Those are the best, though, man. That's really cool. I'm jealous. I'm looking forward to doing that a little bit now that spring and summer's right around the corner. I caught my first big northern pike last summer, so I'm kind of itching to give it a go again.
Yeah. That's great. I'm looking forward to getting up to Michigan and getting out on the water and pulling in some fish. That'll be fun.
I got to see if I can, not to invite myself or anything, but I got to see if I can rendezvous with you guys if that would fit your schedule.
It would be really fun.
Maybe I can take a train from here to there.
Like I did, yeah. It's a little tedious, but it's all right.
Yes, I think I've written a note to myself in writing that I would never ride a train again, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll try the Northern American line of trains.
Wait, I can't remember why you don't ride trains. Is it because you just had a bad experience on trains, or what?
Well, really briefly before the show gets too sidetracked, my parents divorced when I was very young, so I was constantly being shipped back and forth between the two. I say constantly, holidays, summers, Christmases, that kind of deal. And there came a time when I lived in Jacksonville with my father, and my mother and her husband lived in Miami, and we didn't come from, we didn't have huge money. They weren't breeding snake. They didn't have snake money in those days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big time. And so instead of flying and driving was tedious, especially for them. Drive down, drop me off, drive back. That's a 15-hour round trip day by the time you eat and stop. So they would stick me on a train, and that train from Jacksonville to Miami was the longest. It went all over the state. It made 22 stops. It was surrounded by I didn't want to be in any part of any of that train ever again, man. It was a miserable experience. When it was on time and perfect, it was mediocre at best, and it never was on time or perfect.
Man, I enjoyed it so much last summer. It was so fun.
Like I say, perhaps perhaps it's a different scene than the Florida lines. I don't know, man.
Well, cool. What's up?
You want to check out the coolest ball python in the world this week?
I was gonna say I haven't had my fill of ball pythons yet.
I got a new one for you, man, and figuratively and literally. So the coolest ball python in the world is brought to you by Heart of the Python. You got to go check out Bill and Kate Peaver and what they've got working. They're up in Massachusetts. Heart of the Python is their kind of breeder's project, and Heartline on TikTok is their brand that is bred for temperament, to grow the hobby, to grow interest in snakes and ball python specifically. Pretty cool mission. I like these folks. Kate is working Monarch and Puzzle. Bill is working Monsoon, and it's a family deal. The kids are working Sunset and Clown. Go check them out on Instagram and Morph Market as Heart of the Python, and TikTok at Heartline. Pretty cool mission, man. I like that. Are you ready, Joe, for this week's coolest ball python in the world? This was actually featured on Tuesday night's episode of the show. I won't rehash the whole show, but this, Joe, is a world's first, the only one that exists this way. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. Here it is. This week's coolest ball python in the world comes from Marcus Jane ball pythons, and the breeder is Mark Mandick. Now, one of my favorite jokes, comedians, is a guy named Mitch Hedberg, and one of his jokes is, he says just flat out, I think Bigfoot is blurry. Joe, this snake is that blurry. That's the way that the snake looks, man. That's how it is. This is an axanthic. This is MJ line, and MJ stands for Marcus Jane. So this is the gentleman that sort of proved out and isolated the MJ axanthic line. That's a recessive, and axanthic takes all the color out. So it's basically a black and white snake. They will develop some yellows over time, but basically it's a black and white snake. It is piebald. But notice the piebald, the white parts are kind of smeared through it rather than that hard line of white and pattern. And the other thing that it has that makes it so special and makes it a world's first is this is an MJ axanthic piebald and scrambler. And scrambler has been a gene of much debate lately of whether it is a gene or whether it's a line bred combo result. And Mark came on the show this week to discuss that, and he's finally said, everybody asks for kind of we see scrambler in so many combinations because Mark has incredible gene collection that he breeds through. He says everybody wants to see the base scrambler gene. He said this is one of the closest that I've ever gotten to it. This is MJ axanthic pied and scrambler right here. First one ever created. Wild gray and black snake. Chaos ensues, man. I think I think scrambler is just a perfect word for what that gene's doing. What do you think, Joe?
We'll just go through these bit by bit so that I can wrap my head around it.
Yes. So you got.
So we can step back. So we got MJ, which is Marcus Jane, and what am I seeing in this snake that is the MJ?
It's actually MJ axanthic. That's one gene.
MJ axanthic. Okay.
Yeah. So there's
heard of axanthic before.
Yeah, there's a variety of axanthics. That's what's making it black and gray, and okay. Not all lines of axanthic are compatible. So you have to identify what the axanthic is. So it's MJ axanthic.
What are other examples of the axanthic then?
Visually very, very similar. People argue in different camps of which axanthic is better, which is blacker of the blacks, which is whiter of the whites, which is which one holds its color the best. If you want comments in the chat, that'll get the chat going. When the camps of axanthic get going. But this is his line of axanthic, and it was it's been around many years, proven and verified.
Okay, so we have MJ axanthic, and then what's the next?
Piebald,
which is the white.
Right? Well, yeah, the pattern, then the stark white, then the pattern. But this one today, we call this a high pattern piebald. So the pattern is getting kind of jumbled and smeared, And then all the way down, way at the end of the tail, you could see a pure white section there, and you could kind of see a pure white band about 50% of the way in that bend in the middle there.
Okay. All right. So we have MJ Axanthic, piebald, and then what's the next one? Scrambler.
So Scrambler is really, really reducing the pattern at the very end. Like as you go down the snake from the head to the tail, if you notice at the head, the pattern's really defined pretty well. Even in the piebald part, it's defined pretty well. And as you go and move towards farther and farther back, that pattern is just getting more and more and more reduced, more and more scrambled, as it were. And in snakes with color, Scrambler is really a brightening gene, and it helps the snake hold its definition and color. Now, one note, hatchlings, well, they're born with skin, which is good, because that would be weird if they weren't born with skin. They're born with skin, but they nearly immediately shed that first skin. So that first skin has sort of a plasticky, pasty kind of a sheen to it. So this animal will gain a little bit of definition after the first shed, but it will not gain or lose pattern. That pattern will be the pattern. The coloration and the definition will change a little bit.
So what is TSK Axanthic?
So I think I'm not seeing the comments, because there must be a comment if you were asking. So my apologies to the audience. I could see where I said good morning, and then my comments stop. But somebody must be commenting if you're familiar with TSK all of a sudden out of the blue, Joe. So TSK stands for the Snake Keeper, and that's a different line of Axanthic. And I'm sure somebody is going, TSK is the best. And then somebody else will be like, MJ is. And then somebody will be like, there's this whole, like, there was a guy that one of the few people that have ever taken the time to sort of berate me and become belligerent toward me in this industry was some guy over a line of Axanthic. So I don't care.
I think it is TSK VPI.
VPI, Vitis Pura Industries, maybe, or something. Something in Latin. VPI is their company name, though, and VPI is the one that I work with.
Okay, all right, I got you. And you work with that because you have it, or you work with that because it's like your favorite?
Well, mostly because I have it, but it's also the most widely available, so you have the biggest amount of resources with it. Now, other people would say the other stuff that's not as widely available is more limited, more I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but more exclusive and better for all those reasons. But yeah, VPI is the most widespread and has the most sort of opportunity out there, kind of thing.
Creative Reptiles, that's Elias, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm missing out. I can't see any of these comments. This is making me mad.
Jen, Elias wants you to know it's okay, Adam. You're safe.
So, this is a safe place. That's true. This is my own safe place. Yes. Thank you.
So
by the way, you guys are evil for getting Joe to do your dirty work when he doesn't know about. This is like mommy and daddy telling a child that to go tell the other one, to do their bidding for them. Over Axanthic, stop it.
I don't have any skin in the game. Pun intended.
Yeah.
And people will actually look at these and go, okay, obviously I'm in the TSK group, or I'm in the EPI group. And apparently there was one guy who was like condescending to you, but is it more of a playful division, or is it more like you don't know what you're doing because you're using VPI?
It's a little of both, and a heavy dose of both. Yeah. Look, my argument is I could show you incredible VPI Axanthics, just like most genetics. There's really great examples of all of them. There's really poor examples of all of them. It's when, speaking of puns intended, it's when people try and live in black and white rather than the gray area. And they're like, no, all of these are horrible and all of these are amazing. And you're an idiot if you work with a different one, blah, blah, blah. So I think they take the right combos. So in VPI, I love leopard in VPI. It you know, the second you put a darkening gene into it, it's fantastic in my opinion. So I'm very pleased with what I have. I hold back the best examples, of course, and try and line breed the best ones that I can that produce.
This is a really, really cool snake. This is really good looking.
You like
snake.
this one?
Yeah. I'm going to give it 2.5 cups. 2.5 cups
out of 3. First ever 2.5 cups out of 3. We just changed the rules. I went higher register there. I've never heard of 2.5 cups. This is.
Oh wait, is my scale 2 cups?
It was until today. You just broke it. You were going up now. 2.5 cups, folks. You heard it here first. Congratulations
well,
to.
Normal to have 3. Why am I only doing 2 cups? It seems normal to have 3 cups.
There's clearly no rules. I have no idea why. I had thought that
we should make some rules. I should make some rules, shouldn't I?
It keeps it fun. That's what makes the coolest ball. The coolest ball python in the world should elicit irrational responses because of how cool it is. That means that we have succeeded. So, guys, check out Tuesday night's episode if you didn't. Really compelling argument from Mark about Scrambler as a gene, and he backs it up with some receipts, as the kids say. So go check it out. I appreciate everybody. It's been performing really well. So good content for you.
I see about the axanthic. Josh is saying it's third grade politics, similar to Monarch / Ultramel camps.
That's correct. Yeah, those camps are out there. And then there's the does Scrambler exists and Scrambler does not exist camps. Those are the warring factions right now. That's the hot argument. So it was,
does Scrambler exist? Meaning, wait, hang on a second. So Scrambler, like scrambles the pattern, right? That's why it's called
Scramblers the pattern, heightens the oranges, and preserves the coloration. Yeah.
Okay. And so some people say that doesn't exist at all.
Some people say that's a result of a nice job of line breeding of an existing gene called Orange Dream. That, hey, you've taken the best Orange Dream over the past 2 decades and just stacked that, refined it, reproduced it, and this is the result. And Mark disagrees with that, and he explained his disagreement with that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I happen to disagree with it as well, but my argument is, all I want to do is recreate those amazing looking snakes that we're calling Scrambler, and whatever is in those, I want to own that snake so that I have those ingredients to recreate that. So while everybody's arguing and debating, I'll get on with creating the product, and then we'll figure out what to call it. So
it is fun. Like, it is fun to be in an industry and actually have conversations like that, until they become something that like one side gets condescending or something like that, which happen. I mean, why is that a thing? Like, why does any industry do that kind of thing where we're just like, oh, you disagree, so you're dumb or stupid or something like that?
You're leaving out one key ingredient detail. It's the humans. The humans.
Yes.
The humans screw it up. The humans screw it up.
Yeah. I mean, and it can be fun. It can be exciting. It can be like, I always think that, like, you listen to a lot of sports talk radio, right?
Yeah.
And the way that people, and I mean, I'm sure that's making money. I'm sure that's taking a stand and making money. But to be that angry and intense about these little things, it's like, all right. Now, I just called them little things. And I don't mean to say it's not a big deal in breeding, but it can be a fun thing until somebody makes it not a fun thing.
It's like that episode of Seinfeld where, like, there's like playful insults being bantered about, and then George is like, yeah, well, your mother's a
Yeah.
Yes. And the whole room goes silent. They're like, what happened? Why did we do this, George? That was too much.
Right. The jerk store.
Yeah, that was a jerk. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I do have, so we got a little bit of a short porch this morning. So
yeah, I apologize, everybody. I got to boogie about 10 to 12 minutes earlier than I normally would have to.
So we usually start, anybody who's just joining us, seeing us for the first time, we usually do our one thing, and then we have a topic that we talk about. It's either business related or snake related. And our topic this week kind of comes from my fishing trip, my one thing, which was that feeling when you're out fishing and you go, oh, you're not catching anything. And then you just start trying stuff. You try a lure for the first time that you never even used before.
You're like, let's put these purple polka dots on there.
You try a different spot and you're just, now it's not exactly Hail Mary plays, but has something to do with that. It's just like, we always talk about like calculating your risk, right? Or calculating your moves, planning them out and getting the information and making measured decisions, right? But what are those decisions, or what are the things that you do where you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks? What are the things that, you just go, I'm just going to throw this line out there and see if there's any bites? Do you do that?
Yeah. And I just had like, as you're talking about it, I just had like an aha moment where I think the longer you do something, the more evidence you gather for what some of those try things will be. And the longer you're at it, the less like risk or Hail Mary it feels like. So
okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
When you're first starting and you don't have all the experience and you don't have all of the sort of the data gathering that happens by doing things repetitively, that's when you're just trying things. So like, let's take like a YouTube channel to start. People are like, I don't know what kind of content to make to start. I don't have any expertise because I'm just starting. I've never talked to a camera before because I'm just starting. I don't know how to do this because I'm just starting. And I always say to people, just start. And as you go, you're going to gather data and you're going to have interaction from people. And again, I can't see the comments, but let's say somebody somebody made a firm statement about TSK. Okay, well then there's a piece of content that you can reply to or make your own rebuttal or show off either agreeing or disagreeing. And opportunities present themselves that come with like baked in validation because you've done the thing and you've gathered the data. And now I feel like I'm at a point where I have like a checklist of things like, man, when I get some time, I am going to do that because I know it's a home run and I know it's a slam dunk. Yeah. And I do hear a lot of people say, I know how I can make a whole bunch of money to be a slam dunk, but they never go do it. That's the trick. That's the thing. You got to go do it. So like, literally yesterday, here's one I'm trying. I don't think it's a Hail Mary. I think it's a slam dunk, but time will tell. Two problems, Joe. One, people that, inexpensive animals have flooded the market. So when we're working with recessives, there's always hets. There's always sort of these genetically loaded animals that just look black and brown. And if they're males, they're less useful from a breeding standpoint. And so we end up basically wholesaling these animals, $20 a pop, but take all of them, get them out of here kind of deal. And that's cool. But that's quite a lot of, that leads to a loss. That's a loss. The second problem is at shows, new buyers will say, I really like that snake. It's at a good price, not a wholesale. Maybe I got it marked at $50 or $75 or $80. And they're like, that's in my budget. I got to go get an enclosure. What should I get? And I'm like, well, this guy over here has this thing and this guy over here, they got the thermostats. Then you need some cocoa over there. And then they go to another booth and that person says, oh, well, you need this kind of enclosure over here. I tell them they need a tub. This person tells them they need a PVC enclosure. This person tells them, oh no, use an old aquarium. And the buyer gets confused. And by that point, they've forgotten all about the $50 or $75 animal that I'm stoked to sell because I'm going to get more than $20 for it.
Right.
And I never see him again. And I go back home with that same animal, and that customer leaves confused with a jumbled bunch of information that they're going to get lost in.
Okay.
So I talked to the good partners at Vision that support Proper Royals Live on Tuesday nights. I said, hey, what can we do about this? I didn't actually say that to them. They have a product that is a tub cover. So I bought a bunch of tubs, a bunch of tub covers, relatively inexpensive. I bought thermostats, I bought heat pads, I bought cocoa block, I bought water dishes, and I bought hides. And I'm going to make 10 ready turnkey enclosures and these animals, I'm going to have them in their own display, and I'm going to say, get the enclosure and pick any snake you want. Boom, you're out the door for a fixed price. And I think it's going to be $175, just under $200. You're out the door with your new snake and everything that you need except for the food for at least a year for this snake to thrive. And then I'm going to make a YouTube video, and I'm going to get a QR code, and I'm going to stick it on that enclosure, and I'm going to go scan that with your phone when you get home, and I'm going to tell you how to set this whole thing up, and then and your reference is right there the whole time. I'm excited about this.
And this is the first time this is being done?
No, people do it. I think I could do it a little bit better. The ones that I see being done are aquariums, which I don't think the snakes do as well in. Hatchlings definitely don't do very well in them, generally speaking. And the PVC enclosures that are really appropriate, they're expensive. You could spend $300-$400. So
right, yeah.
I'm lowering the barrier. I'm ensuring success, in my opinion. If somebody follows this video that I send to them with this tub setup, they're going to be successful in humidity and temperature. And I'm going to show them exactly how to do it with the exact ingredients that they have, the exact components they have.
Yeah, because you've been around, you've been doing the shows for a while. And so you've taken in this data.
I've taken in the data. I've experienced wholesaling animals when there is a demand for affordable pet animals, that if that person succeeds, they're going to go, I want more than a brown and black one. I'm always going to love this one, but it isn't that tough. I should get another one from hopefully Adam at Proper Royals.
Yeah. So like, I liked what you were saying at the beginning of this conversation, and not so much the rest of it. No, just no.
Sounds like garbage, Adam. You've thrown your money away.
No, I like that. So like the fishing analogy, if you're fishing all the time, you're taking in data that maybe is not registering consciously either, right? Maybe it's not, but you are experiencing something, and you're intuiting what works and what doesn't.
You've reeled it fast, you've reeled it slow, you've bounced it on the bottom, you've ripped it across the top, you've tried live, you've tried frozen.
Yeah. And it's the same kind of thing. You're around the shows a bunch, you're observing, you're going, okay. So maybe it's not just about the Hail Mary or the throwing the spaghetti at the wall. It's not just about, hey, let's just try this. It's about articulating that those intangible data points that maybe you've been taking in over time, and going, okay, this is, what am I seeing? What am I observing? Can I draw that out of my brain somehow, and then build a strategy around it?
Yeah. And what do the customers want and need? How are we solving a problem? And if you stick around long enough, you're going to start to observe problems. It's part of the reason why I joined the Chamber of Commerce for the car wash. I just want to hear who my customers are and what the customers are looking for in town, kind of deal. So you got to put yourself out there to gather those data points and that experience.
It is so. And then you do need some type of reflection. Like you have to build in time to reflect on things, whether it's while you sleep or whether it's actually set time to go. I'm gonna think about the things, like I'm gonna reflect on the all of the data that I've been taking in over the past few years and develop a strategy around that.
Right. So my first real point of doing that will be May 31st. I've got a show, which is a snake discovery show, which is often a strong pet show. This should, if this idea works as I think it will, this should be a smash show. I should kill it at this show. And nothing I'm doing is proprietary. I don't mind sharing. I don't care. Go do it. Buy the equipment, make the video, go do it. But I'm excited for that.
So you're getting the you're getting a higher margin on the snake,
right?
And you're getting a higher margin on the setup as well, right? Like this is, if you sell this in combination, you'll do better on the I don't want to say throwaway snakes. That's not, doesn't sound
just
good.
The lower priced ones, yeah.
The lower priced one, you probably get a higher margin if you invest a little bit more into like this first time setup thing.
Right. So where in the past I would net $20, I think on the package I can net 120 to 140 depending on what I price it at. So that's a 600% X. That's a 6X improvement. That's my kind of thing, you know.
Right.
I like that. Now it's only, again, it's only 100 to 120 bucks. I would rather sell an $800 snake, but it's solving those problems. And if it's a local customer, then they're going to need to feed the snake. Maybe the hobby hooks get them and they want to buy another snake, and there I am to sell them another one. So, you know, gaining customers and that relationship opportunity is really a really valuable point as well.
Yeah. Well, I think we had a good conversation, even though it's a short porch this morning.
I know. So I feel like we're heating up, but you know, life and family is important. We're going to check out a school today. I've got a school tour in 40 minutes. So I need to go not look like I rolled in late last night from a Reverend Horton Heat concert at First Avenue. And
hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in this morning live. Love the chat, love the chatter. It's fantastic. And then anybody who's watching over the week, join us on Thursday mornings, 7:30 Eastern time. And this is what we do.
Thank you guys. Same time, same place next week. Enjoy your coffee, kiddos. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah.